So my first day in the new class, we were asking if you speak different languages. So we have the verbs for to know and to speak. We looked at these like stair steps and explained our level of how good. Like, I don't speak the language, I speak a little, I speak it well, I speak it really well. And, we would go around and ask, do you know or speak this language or that language? And normally everyone was asking a language where they would say no. And the teacher asked if I speak a little French, Kichit, and I said no. So she said, okay, well then you speak. Hey, so quick intermission. I'm actually a couple years behind in editing these videos. So now that I look back at the clip, I'm like, what's going on here? And then I realized I think I decided not to tell that story because I thought it was, I don't know, gonna make the video too long or something. And then I was watching it back recently and realized that's probably the most interesting part of the video. So I wanted to insert this in here real quick to explain what happened. The teacher's like, do you speak a little French? And I said no. And then she said, well, then the answer is, I don't speak French. And I was like, no, the answer is, I speak a lot of French. So that was kind of like the confusion there. And then it was kind of like, oh, wow, you speak French. Like, what languages do you speak? And it reminded me of this time in high school in Spanish class when we were supposed to be working on past tense, I think. So we were saying like when our birthday was. And I was just like, well, like, what do I say if my birthday's today? So it's just like one of those things where it's like they're not expecting you to have an atypical answer. And then we wrote our own sentences about which languages we speak, and and we've again got the vowel harmony with the languages. In this case it's ul and ul, and I think it's interesting because the ending, it's just like you have the root, like Angol, Mayor, Francia, and then for language you add ul or ul. Same thing we saw with before, like for the dedonyms, it's pretty much like you just add an I with some of them. Most of them there's no ending at all. You add shag for country. You add ben or ban to say you live in that place. But it seems very simple in a lot of ways. Like it's you just have one word and you add whatever postposition you need. Oh yeah, we also were listening. Let's see. Yeah, we're also listening to this audio, and I think most people had no idea what was going on, and we were really confused. But we were able to like maybe deduce some of it eventually. And then we did some verb conjugating, and we had in the workbook conjugating these verbs that we've been working with. I didn't write it down because at that point I was so out of it, and I want to go back and do it later when I'm actually able to focus. And the rest we're supposed to be doing for homework. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I can find the energy at some point over the weekend to go back. Ideally, we're on page 11. I'd like to go back and do everything just to, make sure I'm not behind in any way. So we'll see what next week brings.